Finally, I would like to introduce the administrators and faculty of Dr. Michael M. Krop Senior High School. Dr. Matthew J. Welker, Principal. Ms. Pamela Clapier, Assistant Principal. Mr. Ken McCard, Assistant Principal. Ms. Adrena Williams, Assistant Principal. Mr. Vincent Vignola, Assistant Principal, Community School. Mr. Rodney Reed, Administrative Assistant. Mrs. Jean Rosenfield, Administrative Assistant. Mr. Larry Ball, Student Services Chair. Ms. Ruth Smith, Gifted Education Chair. Ms. Mary Lee, Class of 2008 Sponsor. Ms. Connie Higgins, Class of 2008 Sponsor. Ms. Lori Nelson, Athletic Director. Mrs. Gersie Arnold, Activities Director. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our guests and dignitaries.
Treasure hunting appears to be a very popular pastime for millions of people today. Our student speaker has found the magic that has led him to untold treasures in the academic world. He has won more than $20,000 as a Coca-Cola scholar and $10,000 as a Toyota scholar. Yet his greatest find is a Quest Bridge grant for $214,000, which will be used for his undergraduate studies at the University of Chicago. I am proud to introduce a gentleman, a scholar, a humanitarian, our Student Government Association President, David Akinin.
Good afternoon, fellow graduates, proud family members, teachers, friends, distinguished guests, administrators, and Dr. Welker. I want to congratulate the class of 2008 on their academic achievement and wish them continued success, the greatest luck, and everlasting health. I've always wondered about those moments in which our destinies are formed. Is it today, or was it 4 years ago when we all stepped into Krop? Like all of you, when I knew I was coming to Krop, I felt the fear of the unknown, the challenge of being one of nearly 4,000 students. Just a number, mine, 0045382. And for me, it was even more complicated. It was not only a new school, it was a new country, a new language, a new culture, new friends, and new girls. I soon found that if I dared to dream, and if I carried these dreams to reality, all of my fears and apprehensions would disappear. All of my efforts have been paid back with accomplishments and rewards that are very touchable realities. But the one thing I regret is not being able to reach all of my classmates with the message that it was okay to dream even if you were only in the 9th grade. When dreams come true, you would like to have a time machine to be able to go back where you began and inject yourself with the confidence of the final result. Traveling blind into your goal is so much harder when you haven't seen the end of the movie. Not that I suggest we spoil the end of anyone's movie, but let's go back today and instill the power to dream in at least another person's life. A rabbi recently told the story that I am about to share with you. There once was a farmer who was about to take his first long trip to a very distant city. He gathered all his life savings and bought a first-class ticket for his first ever trip. When he entered the first-class cabin, he realized he was not dressed properly and lacked the manners and the style of the passengers therein found. So he walked back to the last cabin of the train, where he met some peasants that dressed and looked like him, and decided to ride under the wagon with those who couldn't pay. On the first stop of the train, the ticket master began to search for crumbs and discovered a farmer hidden illegally. And when just about to be kicked out of the train, he showed the officer, "Hey, I purchased the ticket." To this, the officer replied, "How foolish could you be to ride like a rat, to hide like a thief, when you are holding a first-class ticket in your hands?" How foolish can you be? How foolish can we be? Like the men on the train, we all have a first-class ticket to ride on the train of life. But often, we don't realize it on time. He was lucky enough to have the ticket master remind him that regardless of how well he fit in, he possessed that ticket. I wish we all had a ticket master that brought us back to first class when the circumstances of life push us back to the back of the train. I challenge everyone from here on today and now to touch someone else's life, to remind everyone we can that they hold a first-class ticket and to help them use it before the end of the journey. My parents, with their eternal push, their love, their dedication, their insurmountable effort to make of my brothers and me the boys we are today, have been my ticket masters in life. I will be attending the University of Chicago, the one we dreamed about together, with all the financial need I could ever dream of. For this, I thank my parents and mentors, but most importantly, I thank God. Mamá, tu amor por tus hijos es tan fuerte que solo puedo pedirle a Dios que me deje ser como tú con los míos. Todo lo que he logrado fue construido con los valores de familia y hermandad que tú has sembrado en nosotros. Papá, tu empuje desde que era chiquito y tu exigencia pronto me encaminaron e inspiraron a querer ser como tú, a demostrarte inconscientemente lo que podía lograr, y en el camino me perdí en mi propio reto y lo empecé a hacer para mí mismo. Te debo hoy todo lo que soy y todo lo que tengo. Los amo. If I can leave you with something I've learned from serving Krop as its school president, it would be this. When we set out to map our goals and plausible achievements, it is always best not to aim for accomplishing those that have been marked by the people who filled our shoes in the past. Rather, put them as your base, your starting point, and from there, build your own infrastructure of dreams that will leave a challenge for the following generations. I stand before you today, my peers, my friends, the pillars that held my heart and hand through a high school career in the best school of the nation. And I see the limitless bonds we have created amongst us as the best legacy we'll leave to humanity, the beginnings of a society that stands in harmony with an assortment of cultures and ideologies under its roof. Class of 2008, what they